All right. Hi. Love you, audience. So this is the post show. Jacob will be joining me in just a minute or two. Don't worry. I just wanted to take some time to describe kind of the scenes you saw tonight. So first, let's get the kind of Pennsylvania scenes out of the way, right? We got to see kind of Xavier confront Eric, giving him kind of a merging ceremony part two a chance. So essentially, that decision did open up today. We'll take a brief look as well with Jacob at kind of the end of our post show, because Jacob was a big champion of kind of that initial decision, like will Eric sleep with Krista or not. So that'll be a little bit of a little fun moment. But, for more G fans out there, you got your chance. Now, we also saw the result with Faith, right? That was a redemption option. Didn't feel like it because as kind of Rachel wakes up with a knife to her throat, and nothing better than to hear your own child after doing that saying, I wanted to cut the bad dreams up. But of course, tonight was about Carl. So you saw that final Faith scene with Carl. You saw the open, the straw puppet, the immolator. Here, some of those key quotes, right? You always wanted to know what happened that day. Now you find out from Eva. I don't need to be protected. People need to be protected from me. And Eva, it turns out, has been gone for 15 years. And I think one of the best lines there came actually from Carl, which is, Eva asked, why did you give me the gun? And Carl's, because I always give you the gun. Now, and that scene, Carl's in the other world. He's with the immolator. All I can say, you'll want to tune in the next couple of days. So tomorrow's Thursday. You'll get that scene will be at 6 p.m. Pacific. Of course, catch up for those of you who can't be there will be available to you afterwards. So you will get a chance before the Friday show where we'll have Layla and Noah kind of debriefing all of that with you, the audience. So for those of you who really want to break it down, just wait a little bit, be patient, follow the story as it goes. Layla and Noah will wait for you at the other end because we know you want to know what happens. That said, tonight, a little bit of a different tone. We're going to have Jacob come on board now. A little bit of a special surprise. So Jacob's going to appear right now on screen, hopefully. Let's see, production. Can you make the magic happen? Yes, we got Jacob right here with us. So audience, please, warm welcome for Jacob. Now, welcome, Jacob. And here's a quick question. You specifically wanted to be here today. Why? If you could...
Oh, we're gonna open up a gift Konami sent me, so I'll tell the whole story of that a little bit later. But I wanted to do it last week, but we were busy last week. But so we're here today. But yeah, we have a present. Konami made me drag across the Pacific Ocean, so we'll take a look at that. But briefly, because we were just discussing the story, I love Eva's voice actress. She's so good. And Eva's lines are the best. And I've loved her as a character from the very beginning. And the thing with Carl, and I said this at the world premiere show that we did with Greg Miller, like Carl reminds me of my dad. Not crazy like my dad, but like kind of like my dad, old guy, kind of weird. And I always kind of felt this melancholy and sadness for him. And the fact that he's kind of just imagining this girl for 15 years. And that line about you always give me the gun. I mean, it's so powerful. It's so good. Those two voice actors were fantastic. So I'm really happy with the way that we're going now. Now, we had some fun on Friday. The Eric and Krista thing. We just explain here. We made nude metahuman models. We made them. It was like we did this thing. This is like a historical event. We're gonna have a metahuman sex scene in a commercial television show. I wanted people to see it. And if you pick the wrong option, you never get a chance to watch the thing. So I was very disappointed. I really thought that people would listen to me. They clearly didn't.
But they got to see the scene anyways, right? I think we got to show it live.
I literally was DMing Eduardo over Slack on Friday evening. I was like, run the scene. Run the clip. Just do it. It wasn't planned. It wasn't prepared. I wanted people to see. We build all this content. We build it. It's there. We've done the work. You guys deserve to see it. You'll see seen this over and over and over. We saw it in Rival Peak. We saw it in Walking Dead. The audience always wants the characters to live. They see that as the win condition for the game, quote unquote. It's not a game, but like they treat it that way. And so, I challenged the audience to make every character survive. Unfortunately, we didn't get it done with Toby, but I think, you were saying it during the pre-show, they largely figured it out. So I feel like odds are high the remaining characters will survive. We're going to have a new character join the Fate system soon, right? Because Carl is entering into his final Fate. And I said consistently characters will come in and out of the show. And look, we're not even halfway done yet, right? Kind of scary to think about how much more content there is to come.
Yeah, as one sunset, another rises. So the audience will get to see that as well when that happens. So don't worry. Not a long time because we don't like spoilers. So as a result, you're not actually that far off.
Right.
But yes. In the meantime, gifts from Konami.
Yes, I know, right? So let me give some background here because I think it's useful for the audience to understand. So I first moved to Japan 20 years ago. I spent like a third of my life living in Japan. And about 15 years ago, I joined Square Enix Holdings, which is the parent of the Square Enix Group. And I began working for their longtime CEO, Yoichi Wada, who is the man who merged Square and Enix together and was CEO for most of this century up until now. And I worked for his successor, Yosuke Matsuda. Also, I built a subsidiary for them, but I've got a long history in Japanese business and a long history with Konami. So if you could throw up that picture, is a tweet by a certain...
Yeah, this picture. Yeah, when we were planning this show, I saw this picture. I was like, oh, yeah.
I was so much thinner then.
This was what you told me. This is 11 years ago, correct?
11 years ago. I mean, you can see the timestamp on the tweet. It's his tweet. It's still up there, and that's me and Wada-san, my former boss, and Julian Merson, who was the global CTO of the Square Enix Group, who joined the CTO of Konami just before this photo was taken, and we were there talking about what the future of games was going to be. Again, this was 2013, and we were talking. We had a long dinner. It's Imaizumi-san on the right side of the photo, who's the producer on Metal Gear Solid 5 and a lot of the other titles. And we were talking about games and media merging and what the future of this content was going to look like. And so I've had a relationship with the Konami Group for a very, very long time. Now, at the end of the year in Japanese business, and you can take the tweet down, at the end of the year, they I can't, like, looking at myself when I was younger and had more hair and everything just makes me very jealous. At the end of the year, you have these business dinners, Bonenkai and Shinnenkai. And Bonenkai are end of the year dinners, and Shinnenkai are beginning of the year's dinner. And we were busy with the show in December, so I didn't get a chance to go to Tokyo, but I'm generally there every 2 months. So I was in Japan 2 weeks ago to do my regular check-in with Konami, and they very, very frequently, will give us little things. So, like, for example, year's party, they gave me this Robbie the Rabbit, which I didn't take it out of the plastic because it was nicer inside of the plastic. And over the summer, they gave me this cool cap, and they always love giving me stuff. But this time, we get into the meeting room, and they're like, "Jacob, we got something for you," and they gave me this devilish smile, and we're like, "What do you?" And they're like, "It's big. Good luck taking this home." I'm on a flight the next day back to New York, and so
we have a picture of the suitcase. I know production has it. That's going to be up. Well, there you go. There's something that says suitcase, though.
Giant box bigger than my suitcase, and they're like, "Have fun taking this thing home." So here we are. This
there we go.
Thing, and they were joking to me, and they were like, "Open it on air." And they laughed, and they thought it was going to be like a cover joke. And they were like, "Oh, no, okay, I'll actually do that. I'll open it on air." So I messaged Eduardo and the team, and I was like, "Sure, why not? Let's just open this thing up on the air itself." So This was our 2023-2024 Christmas present from Konami to Genvid.
Nice.
Silent Hill 2 Red Pyramid thingy.
Yeah,
I have
there we
not
go.
opened this yet. It is still in shrink wrap.
Grand classic.
It is
So
huge.
yeah.
Let's take a look.
But yeah, everybody's like, this is quite the thing as well for audience, right? You got into the narrative flow. Now we're doing a little bit of an unboxing. Make sure, it's good to keep you on your toes at home. It's important.
I'm happy to answer narrative questions as we unbox this giant thing. So
if there's
any
questions
from the audience, the whole plan was
know.
to do it while opening this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you focus on showing us the goodies inside, and I'll make sure I'll be the voice for you at home. If you wanted to have me speak for you, this is your chance.
It's 20 pounds. It's very hard to take out.
No.
Boom.
Boom. It just falls. Yeah.
Giant plastic thing.
Yeah.
Any questions that people?
Yeah, they're asking so they're asking on your legal obligations. What did you tell customs about that box?
Well, the nice thing is that basically things under $10,000, this is not a problem. This don't cost $10,000. So
all right, yeah, I mean you were on business, right?
What I was concerned was that they were going to make me open things there at customs. No, gentlemen.
Oh yeah,
no problem.
I don't know. I have my own personal horror stories about customs opening things. So too late in the night for that kind of
JFK customs. It's not drugs. It's not guns. Generally, it's okay. They see all sorts of weird stuff coming through there.
All right, so we're good. Pyramid Head is different stuff. This is different.
Yeah. We can switch the camera.
Yeah. We got unboxing cam as well. That's gonna get
unboxing cam here.
That's gonna get. Don't worry, we're gonna get that down. Production team's gonna lovely put it. Yes, there we go.
Boom. Huge. Whoa.
This is gigantic. Yeah.
Look at this. Crazy. They were laughing so hard as they were doing this to me.
Yeah. People are asking for an Eric Satir statue now as well. In chat.
We gave them the stuff for all the models. So if you guys write to Konami, they could produce figures of all the characters and the monsters. They obviously produce the shirts. We have more of the shirts here as well. So all the merch that got produced. But I think this thing.
No, that's a huge base, yeah. Because normally when I get the statues,
it's small. No.
Well, the statue's probably smaller, but the base is huge. Because usually when I get these kind of figures of that range, the statue's pretty big, but the base is usually quite small. That one looks massive.
Yeah, it's large, sturdy.
But yeah, all about the base from Johnny Zombie Boy, of course.
Where do these pieces go in from?
Yeah, there we go. People People liking the detail on the statue as well.
Does it stay by magnets? Is that how this thing works? There's no instructions.
It just works. That's all it is. The pyramid head is not logical. It just is.
Okay.
So they're saying to put the arms before the sword, Jacob.
Okay. Got it. Well, the arms and the sword are attached to each other.
Oh, okay. Well, so that was pre-done for you, apparently. So
that was pre-done, but I don't understand how this is going this side.
We have speculators who are saying this is now worth more because you've touched it, so the value's gone up.
Clearly. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Yes, you are correct. We have to put it in the.
Oh, okay. So we got pretty curious here. I'll read the question. Can you, as it is, which is, can you all explain the monster from last night's endurance scene that looked like she had the face of Lady Bits? How and why was that made? I think that's a stinger. If I was to guess which monster that is.
That's the Entangler.
The Entangler? Okay.
Right. So that is the trauma monster for Pennsylvania. There's one for.
Take that off. Try it. Just.
Yeah. Okay. You can come in and this my COO Chris is here with me.
Yeah. You're not on your own. There's somebody in the background helping you out. Yeah.
Take that off and do it more easily. Okay. So there are two trauma monsters. There's one for Norway. Does it go this way? Yeah. Yeah. But these magnets don't seem to. I don't think I'm doing it well. And there's one for Pennsylvania. And I mentioned on the stream back in December there was a third location that we built it out, but we haven't aired it because it was going to get way too convoluted for 3. Like we had a conversation with the bad robot, and we were like, too much stuff going on. Can you move the camera closer to the? Yeah. Bring it here. Yeah. So the third location hasn't aired, but we built a creature for that location too. And each one of those creatures relates to a specific trauma of the main storylines of those locations. So that Entangler creature has to do with basically the way in which Rachel is entangled with the lives of the characters there, and you can kind of guess what the creature with the giant fire switch to this camera for Norway is supposed to be with regard to Carl. Yeah, this came up pretty nicely.
Yeah, obviously you talked about fur locations, so there's a bunch of questions about that. Just quick Q&A on this one. What do you mean by a trauma monster? Just rapidly from our
the thesis for the show was that the main kind of creature, similar to our, red pyramid thing here, was the primary trauma creature for James in Silent Hill 2, that we should have creatures that relate to the specific traumas endured by the characters in those locations. And both Norway and Pennsylvania have themes related to them that are unique and special. And so those creatures are connected to the trauma. That's why you saw the Entangler in the opening scene where Rachel and Joy are having that ceremony. You see her appear there. She is connected to Rachel and Eric and what's going on in Pennsylvania. Similarly, the other creature that you've seen with the fire coming out of it is connected to Carl and Astrid, and soon our next character entering into the Fatefold there.
Okay, no, seems like the audience is liking your answer as well. They like the context here. The fur location, I'm sure, for tonight, that's probably over because there's I think a lot behind the fur location, right? Because you mentioned it, but we'll drop hints because you're a repeated guest, so I'm sure we'll drop more hits on what that was, etc. But for the audience development.
Yeah, look, we wanted one. When we were starting the project, we thought it would be interesting to explore the storyline from rural, suburban, and urban environments. And the one that we cut from the storyline was the urban environment, and that would have been the first time the series was really set inside of a city proper. And we built those environments, we wrote those characters, and we wrote that story, and we'll probably reveal later, but some of it's been folded into what you have right now. But the biggest problem was, it's already hard to understand everything that's going on between the 5 characters that we had at the start of it. Can you imagine? We planned for 9 Fate characters live concurrently at the start of it, and it was just it was too much to process.
Yeah, no, right. When the show started, it was already just getting to grasp with the now our audience kind of gets it. I think they who knows what will the future reserves in that sense, but at the start for sure, just getting to grasp with the core systems. So by the way, I don't want to skip too much. I know the audience is asking, but I that statue definitely has presence. That's the one thing I'll say. Definitely nice little companion for the desk. So, and by the way, for the audience, if you're asking more detailed story questions, those are best. Jacob could probably answer some of these, but we do have, guests coming on as well that we're writing directly, or like obviously Layla, Noah, and myself, like we try to research as much as we can about the story to make sure you get that. So we'll try to answer these questions as you go. Hopefully I can note like 2 or 3 that we can maybe clarify some light. And like the thing is, our development team actually, Jacob knows this very well, our development team watches the shows every night, and our narrative team actually makes notes of things that the audience are doing and saying for us to like look into the future and kind of get that material for you and do it in the future. So if I'm not answering to you tonight, it's still good that you're writing this, audience, because we might answer that in the future as a result.
Yeah, look, we are live editing the show. We are live producing the show. We do checks on the content that comes in every day. We take in user feedback. One of the biggest points of user feedback from our first month was the cameos remove a lot of the immersiveness. And so like, that's how you get Jam Man, because this is a cameo. And so you'll see a lot less of them, and they'll be much better integrated into the story as a result of it. And again, that's all just user feedback that we're taking in real time.
Excellent, thank you. One question. I'm gonna do a last question from one of the audience members, Super Cool 9, who was like asking if we, to both of us, have we met any Team Silent member in the past? I haven't, straight up, but Jacob, I know you have.
Yeah. I have signed stuff from Ito-san and the others, because I was there at the Silent Hill transmission, right? That aired in October 2022. We were all together, and so we swapped stories and met and spoken for sure. But I was the only one of the kind of external production team parties that was there at the transmission. If you watched that, you would have noticed that while it had Ito and Okamoto-san and the others, that most of the other videos were pre-recorded and I was live. But I speak fluent Japanese, and so I was there taking live instruction from a Japanese director in a Japanese film studio as we were filming it. Not as easy for people from Poland or from other locations.
Yeah, I mean, if you live there 20 years, I would imagine you picked up a bit. Somebody's asking if you speak Japanese. I'm going to say I don't think it does.
I'm completely fluent. If the question was to me, I don't know. If
I think it was to both, but like, yeah, I'm not. You are clearly.
Look, Wada-san, who is my longtime boss, doesn't speak English. I mean, he understands that he can process it, but he doesn't speak it. And I was his translator for years. So if you go back and you read shareholder letters from the late aughts and early last decade from Square Enix, I was probably the person who translated the shareholder letter or did the last English check. I got one final really funny story. So in 2013, we were preparing for the PlayStation 4 reveal, and 4, can you imagine? They wanted to announce that a Final Fantasy was coming to it, and they had Hashimoto Shinji-san, who is the kind of the Meijin, the longtime brand and franchise director of the Final Fantasy franchise there, and we were trying to figure out what we were going to say about the project. And like Wada-san calls me and the PR head into a room and like writes Hashimoto-san's speech and tells me to translate it. So I translated it into English, but I did it real quick. And then at the event, Hashimoto-san reads what I wrote and says, "Otanonishimi ni shite kudasai," which, means to look forward to something, but I translated at that time as "please be excited." And that became a huge Square Enix famous meme of "please be excited," so that's my fault. I have lots of other stories that I can tell about Fantasy and Square Enix and Konami, and we've got Bandai Namco stuff, Pac-Man, everything else. But
we saw the Pac-Man as well in that little background. So, but that's the thing. You're a recurring guest. We got to save your stories from time to time. So we're gonna do one little last thing. I'm gonna ask our production team to put the decision that opened today, because we talked a lot about narrative, but this is like this is the Morgy part 2, because people as well in chat have been asking you, Jacob, to join their cult of the merging.
I'm part of it. I'm the leader of the cult of the merging. Everybody.
There we go.
Merge.
You got a new official leader, audience. Perfect. Yeah, somebody's like, please be excited for more G2. So, right now, Redemption's winning, but early days, rallies exist for that very reason. So it's how will Eric respond to Xavier's invitation, right? Stop Krista from participating. Watch, which in a weird way might be the word, like definitely the weirdest of the options. Watch is excellent.
Look.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look.
Just go watch.
Yeah, and then the last one's like offer him as the satyr, which is like clearly party people time. Xavier's like, oh, I learned more. That it was very fulfilling. Like, oh.
When they told me about the plans for Xavier and all the like Xavier pushing for people to have sex stuff, I was like, yeah, that's a cult leader right there. You got it. You spot on.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's the thing, right? He wants to make sure the merging takes place. And that decision's like pretty long. It's like 6 days. So that'll be next Tuesday. So it'll be a little while. So you got lots of time, audience to. Yeah.
Look, I'm looking forward to the Xavier Eyes Wide Shut stuff coming. So.
Oh my. Anyways, on that note, okay, Jacob, it was a delight having you. I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to basically let the audience know what they can expect. But thank you so much, Jacob. For the unboxing, being here. I'm sure the audience had a great time, actually. A lot of questions from them on like kind of how the, Silent Hill Ascension was made, like that relationship. I hope you in the audience.
We'll get into it. I'm happy to answer all those questions. Just keep coming back every day and hopefully you'll get a chance to hear me answer them live.
Yeah. So
we got plenty of time. We got many weeks left.
Oh no, there's lots of time.
Months.
Yep, I know it. Just have to find these things. So the big thing is tomorrow's show. We got one of the decisions that was today that we kind of glanced over. It was like ongoing is what will Rachel do with faith quotation marks, and it's really between Redemption and Damnation. Still with Redemption a little bit ahead, with Leave Her Behind. Now tomorrow, here's the thing. Like one of the big things with Silent Hill Ascension for the audience is. If you like, if you can watch it live at 6 p.m. Pacific, that's great. If you can't, I very strongly recommend you catch up on the action Friday. You don't really want to miss tomorrow's action. If you can't watch it because of your personal life circumstances, that's totally fine. We have catch up for that very reason. Obviously, watching it live is exciting. You get the audience with you, but that's it. Now, Friday, we got the pre-show, 5:40 p.m. Pacific. We got the post-show right after that show on Friday. That'll be with Layla and Noah. They're going to be taking really good care of you. They're going to walk you through some of the more intense narrative beats that we've had this week. So obviously I'm hyping it up and setting them up so they're not going to be the biggest fans of me right now, but I know they can do it. I trust them. That's why they're going to do it. But here's the thing. Jacob, thank you so much for being here. Audience.
Thank you.
No, absolutely. Thank you. And audience, I hope you had a delightful post show. I know, a little bit of a different take, but today was a big narrative moment. And of course, you got to learn more about what makes Silent Hill Ascension tick, which we do hope you do enjoy. That said, we'll be back in action tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific. Layla and Noah will be back in action 5:40 p.m. Pacific. That I know for sure you don't want to miss. You can't catch that stuff up. So all that said, thank you so much, audience. Take care, everybody. Bye for tonight.
Bye-bye. See you.